Saturday night. And sorry about that, folks. Skip was coughing up a lung in the booth. As you saw, we are without Commissioner back tonight. I am riding solo, and there is so much going on here. As right away we saw Kenny Landry, the backup quarterback, unable to make an opening drive here. A bit of a quick 3 and out. As Ethan Hill is going to come onto the field here in Columbus tonight. Hill has had a rather pedestrian season. Decent completion percentage, decent yards, not too many interceptions, but he has not been able to generate the points that they so desperately need. But we're going to see what happens here in a battle between a 4-7 team clawing their way, hopefully, towards a wild card berth, and the Crusaders, who are almost eliminated. Depends on what else happens next week, but the Crusaders are a heartbeat away from being counted out. So having to rely on a backup quarterback tonight could be difficult. Meanwhile, the Peaks getting a first down, but also a penalty. Let's see what the call is here. It's going to be holding on the big beef or pork, Tim Bacon, that tackle. Backing them up. I see you, Ronnie Taylor. What is good? Hill throwing an incompletion. Crusaders were ready for that one. And what you might have missed is, well, the stakes are high tonight. You don't want to turn away for even a moment as Ethan Hill on 3rd and 15 bounces it off the halfback. That was quite the check down. Black was there to break it up. And we are going to see punt after punt here. Hopefully not all night. We're going to see if either of these teams who have struggled to score all season can get it going tonight. Again, backup quarterback Kenny Landry in for the Crusaders tonight, and he has got a lot to prove. It's his first start since being traded right before the deadline from the Blizzard. Could he be the future in Columbus? Let's not judge him by one game as he hands it off to Hayward. Good old Tim Hayward getting 2 yards there on the carry. And something you might have not known, but tonight, for the first time ever here at Football Rivals SmashMouth Saturday night, we are co-presented by a sponsor. It's W Energy, the official energy drink of Football Rivals. If you go to w.gg and enter promo code RIVALS, you'll be helping out the league in more ways than one. And when you're looking at that Galaxy grenade, warning, it may cause interdimensional focus. Use responsibly. That's Galaxy Grenade by Dubby, the official partner energy drink of Football Rivals. Landry throws it, and it looks like a completion. He might have bobbled it there for a moment, but he seemed to have brought it in on first down, 2nd and 3. That's a big one. See if they can convert here. A toss out to Hayward, who's getting smothered behind the line for a loss on the play.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd and...
Now we've got 3rd and 4. Landry does have them beyond the 50-yard line. Drops back. Oh, almost intercepted. Throwing to the wrong colored jersey. Remember, Landry used to play for the Blizzard for the first almost half of the season as their starter. It was traded away right before the deadline in favor of the young gun Nelson Hunter, who seems to have that Blizzard team playing better. As it's punted away inside the 13, we're going to see Ethan Hill come back out. See what he can do out of the shotgun on first down here. Throws it complete, and he's getting about 5 or 8 more even. Near the 30, he's going to be down to the 29. That's Freeman, and boy, was he a free man. Open to get the first down on that play. Interesting running routes sort of into each other. Got to hope that your receivers are heads up there, not colliding or throwing each other off. That time it worked to perfection. First and 10 under center. Hill hands it off, gets around the edge for a first down. Big run on first, but ultimately that is going to be a penalty right there on Akeem Cheeks. Don't get cheeky, caught holding for 10 yards. Throws it over the middle, getting a healthy pickup of 8 there. Now they're looking at 2nd and 12. Staying under center. He's got a bunch formation to the right, including the tight end, but he's still got a single back. He fakes the handoff. He's got time, throws it in the flats, but ultimately is separated. The middle linebacker covering the halfback in the flat and making the play. That's what you want from your veteran middle linebacker there. Shotgun 3rd and 12. Hill throws it. Ooh, almost intercepted. Aiming for Cheeks again, but that was a close call. Both quarterbacks just barely avoiding interceptions here in the first quarter. And we're going to see Landry work his way back out. Hopefully he can have a better drive than he's had on the first 2 so far. Landry drops back, play action, gets a completion, a big one to Holloway for 25 yards and the first down and over the 50-yard line. That is what we're talking about here. Landry not afraid to sling it. He's a dual threat quarterback, but he does prefer to stay in the pocket and let her rip. First down from the 45. 6:18 left here in the first quarter. Landry hands it off to Hayward, trying to plow forward, getting 4 tough yards, running into the teeth of that Peaks defense. Like we said, Sacramento coming in at 4 and 7 as they're trying to defend this toss to Hayward to the edge, and they do sniff it out after 4. But the Sacramento team really started slow and has started to snowball a little bit in their favor, starting to gel a little bit, but hoping it's not too late in the year for that as Landry flushed out of the pocket and brought down for the sack. That Crusader is in the dirt. Somebody call the blacksmith, because they're going to need a new helmet after that one to stuff him in a body bag. McGee gets the sack, but the whole team was chasing him down. What a big, big play there for the Peaks on defense, giving them some momentum. That's going to be 4th and 18, and we are going to be looking at another punt So while we do, let's quickly remind you that Football Rivals Smash Mouth Saturday night is brought to you in part by Dubby. Promo code RIVALS at Dubby.gg. And just like that, holding on the return. It's just going to back them up but not eat into their yardage. Empty set for Hill from the 10-yard line. Complete. He's got a one-handed catch, and he's braced the first tackle and is shuffling off this mortal coil. Cheeks getting cheeky, making a big play to get them out of the shadow of their own end zone. Fantastic. Hill, play action, throwing it deep, and it's another completion. Just like that, they go from being at the 10-yard line to being at the 50. Two big passes back-to-back by Ethan Hill, who's getting a little bit of swagger here. Under center now, handoff out to the edge. He makes a move, cuts back inside. Glover getting 7 on that play. Oh, that's an incompletion. Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like it bounced off of somebody, maybe Big Dalton. Shotgun 3rd and 3 for Hill. He's got a single back and everybody to the right of the line. A little bit of a power look. He throws it short, and that is complete beyond the sticks for another big first down. Looks like Ventura got that one. Hill really starting to feel some momentum here, slicing up this Crusaders defense. Staying in a shotgun now. He's got trips spread wide to the left. The halfback goes out on a route, but he throws it to around the 20-yard line, and yet another completion. Now 2 in a row to Ventura. They're applying pressure here, both offensively and defensively. The Crusaders, a little bit of simulated pressure on a shotgun handoff. Worst time to call off the Dogs. He gets 4, but if they had actually brought the blitz, they could have maybe stopped them for a loss. Instead, they're looking at 2nd and 6. Hill back under center. Fakes the handoff on the long delay and just checks it down to the halfback, who's trying to squirt forward. Justice making the tackle there just in time, as we're running out of time here in the first quarter. Hill not worried about taking that time. Under center, another fake handoff. This time he's got to chuck it in the dirt. Wow. Looked like Dalton coming up in with the pressure from the interior and forcing the bad pass. Big play by the Crusaders defense, shutting the door on a possible touchdown for the Peaks. And that is going to do it as they get 3 points on the board, and that is the end of the first quarter. Sacramento's got a lead on the road. And Kenny Landry do something to get this team back on track. It's been a struggle for the Crusaders in the first quarter. Let's see what the second brings. The return out past the 30. And eventually stopped at about the 33-yard line. Here comes Landry. Still trying to get familiar with his offensive scheme, the playbook, the terminology. It's a lot to learn when you get traded at the deadline. And now forced into start. Truman out with a concussion. Handoff up the gut. Hayward gets a nice strong carry, getting a first down on first down and getting them towards midfield. Another handoff to Hayward, who's going off the right side and behind enemy lines. This could be a recipe for success tonight if the Crusaders keep feeding Hayward and let Landry operate off the play action. No play action that time. He does a nice healthy drop and does check it down to Hayward, getting the first down beyond the 50, down to the 42 of Sacramento. Single back, hands it off to Hayward. Man, he's got a full head of steam, and he is just short of the sticks there for another big gain on the ground. But you can see Hayward really breathing heavy back there in an I formation. Let's see if they hand it to him again. They don't. Play action. Throws it deep, way into coverage. That is a lot of bodies wearing white. Landry lucked out there. Pointing something out. 3rd and inches. Handoff up the gut. He's got room. Sprung down to the 15. Nice change of pace by DeBose. Exactly what the Crusaders needed there. A little bit of lightning to go with the thunder that Hayward has been bringing. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. A lot of power over to the left side. Hands off, and he's actually going right. That's still DeBose spelling Hayward at the moment. Looks like Hayward's back out there now. 2nd and 6. Still a lot of power left. Single back. Hands off to Hayward. Finds some room off the left. He's going to fight his way in, and touchdown! Columbus! The Crusaders strike first here at home. Hayward just with some nice power running, following his blocks, finding the gap, and getting to daylight. Strong running by a strong running back. And just like that, they're taking the lead. Guy has got a nose for the end zone, I will tell you that. We'll take that chance to remind you again about W Energy. If you want to support football rivals and keep yourself alert for every game, try W Energy, the official energy drink of Football Rivals Pro League. It's W.GG, promo code RIVALS. And just so you know, W is a clean, sugar-free formula that brings the boom without the crash. No fillers, no fake stuff, just pure power in your cup. Whether you're calling games like me or calling audibles in your dreams, W's got you covered. Proud to welcome W Energy Drink to the Football Rivals family. Third and 1 here for Hill. Hands it off. He's trying to find some room, but he gets stopped at the line. Huge defensive stand. Ramsey and company stopping Glover just inches short of the first down. Sacramento really could have used that one. Oh, Sacramento's going to challenge. They might think that they got enough. Let's find out. That one is going to be hard to overturn. Looked like he got stopped in the backfield. They could potentially say he lost even more yardage than that. And shockingly, they're going to give it to him. 1st and 10 for Sacramento. What does your boy Skip know? Not much, just enough to call that is a first down completion. Just short of the stick. Going to leave him at 2nd and inches. Dumps it off over the middle. He's blanketed in coverage, but Ventura does not care. He's got that Elmer's glue stick on his gloves. 1st and 10, shotgun for the Peaks and Ethan Hill, who's scrambling as he throws it. Complete, but stopped right in his tracks. That's Freeman making another good catch there for 7. Second and 3, Hill hands it off, and Black comes flying down through the gap and tackled. A tackling machine, a clinic being put on by the Crusaders here, really clamping down on the Sacramento run game as they try stretching it to the left. Oh, and he stiff arms his way towards the first down, just barely getting it. Big run by Glover there. They needed it. Hands off again to Glover, who finds some room, lowers the shoulder, and that is a strong pickup of 8 yards. Out of the shotgun, 2nd and 2, about 4:53 left in the half. Oh, he has the blocker, but cannot make the completion. Leonard disrupting enough to stop the bubble screen from activation. Hill's got a 3rd and 2. Hands it off to Glover, who's again stopped short on the sticks. The short run game is not working. At times it looks like Jeffers got up in there and made the stop. Going for it on 4th and 2. Could be a lot of this type of activity tonight. Staying with the run, and he gets absolutely swallowed up. It's like Moby Dick. Jeffers 2 plays in a row. He's saying bye, bye, bye. He's even doing the dance moves. Well, that's the hand jive there, but either way, denied. Defense out in full force tonight. The Crusaders' run D is not going to let Starling get up anywhere near the sticks, dropping him for a few more. As Tim Hayward heads back onto the field, having another strong game tonight. He's been a very, very solid back, and you got to expect he's probably going to hit the 1,000 yards on the season regardless of how the Crusaders finish out this stretch. And he gets a big chunk of 5 right there, already over 50 yards on the game. Let's see if he gets to 100 by the end of the night. Again, finding a little bit of room, getting 3 there. Hayward. Goings on the tackle. Neither team having a lot of success on 3rd down. See if Landry can do something here out of the shotgun. Dumps it off, and he's got a completion to the 50-yard line. Huge play by Holloway and Landry. Two and a half left in the half. Landry hands it off to Hayward out of the shotgun, but he gets stopped after only 2. Goings again coming down from the safety and making the tackle. We are at the 2-minute warning here at the Castle as the Crusaders are hanging on to a 4-point lead. Kenny Landry at quarterback, the backup out of an empty shotgun formation. He throws it complete for the 1st down to Holloway near the 40, and Holloway's already got 50 yards on the game. 3 big catches. He's dropping back. He's got time. He's got the back, picking up protection, throwing it deep to the end zone. Covered, almost intercepted. Big play by the defense there. Why not? Take a big shot on 1st down. Landry staying in the shotgun, dumps it off, and it's complete. Almost looked like it was going to be intercepted for a second there, but they managed to pull it in. 3rd and 4 with just about a minute left here in the 1st half. Landry under center, drops back, has time, finds his tight end out in the flat. Now they got to put a little bit of tempo on it, but they do have 3 timeouts left, so we'll see exactly how they're going to handle it. There's timeout number 1. And again, we're here at the Castle. Let's see if the Crusaders can add some more points. Under center still, 2 timeouts. 46 seconds left in the half. Landry drops back. Gets his man. He's fighting for the sticks, but he cannot get it. They're going to take another timeout, and with that, we'll remind you that Galaxy Grenade is one of the great flavors available, as well as Tiger Blood. Only from W, that's W.GG, promo code RIVALS. As Landry dumps it off, down to the 10, 1st down. They've got 1 timeout left. The clock is ticking. Are they going to take the timeout? No, they're using the clock. What's going on? Oh, they take the last timeout now with 4 seconds. Not a great look, not at all how they want that to go. Poor clock management there, and they're going to kick the field goal. What should have been at least one more chance at a touchdown. It's turned into a mandatory 3. Not good at all. They're going to kick it away. Return gets up to the 30, but it's not going to be a touchdown, so that is going to do it for the first half. Coach is happy, but could be happier. But for having a backup quarterback and having the lead by a touchdown at halftime, not too bad. Thanks for hanging in here with your boy, Skip Lloyd. If you're enjoying this, but you're always looking for more content, check out Rivals Radio on YouTube. We're about to launch the Rivals Radio Rookie Spotlight Series, where you get to know the freshest faces in the league. Guys like Smokey Smith for the Albuquerque Dukes, Johnny Hobbs for the Tokyo Riot, and so many more rising stars across the league. Subscribe to this channel right here if you're watching. And then you'll have direct access to Rivals Radio as well as our wall-to-wall games all week long. And back out here to start the second half. Ethan Hill under center. Play action, but throwing back to the back. He's got some room up the sideline. Big first down conversion on first down. Whoa. Guys are stumbling and fumbling. That was a nice, healthy pickup to start this drive. They certainly need a little bit of juice as they have been sputtering to start this game. And again, the run defense is there. Glover really struggling to find any room on the ground for the entire first half, and it looks like the Crusaders' run D is ready to continue that through the rest of this game. Dumps it off to the receiver. Nice pickup there. Hill trying to get his guys excited, saying we're still in this thing. 3rd and 4. They've only had 2 third down conversions on the night. Hill drops back, and it looks like they're going to have number 3. Big time catch there for Cheeks, the tight end. Give him that first down inside the Crusaders 50. Let's see what can they do now. Bubble screen to Freeman, but not really going anywhere. Only getting a gain of 3 on that one. Second and 7, Hill throws it, and it's bobbled and dropped. That was Ventura. Not able to bring it down there. That would have been a big one. Instead, it's 3rd and 7. Still got a back there with him in the shotgun. Throws it, that's a completion. Freeman making up for it. A little make good, if you will. And this game is moving fast. 10:20 left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for Sacramento. Hill's in the shotgun, hands it off. He's got a little bit of daylight, and he powers forward through the defenders. And unfortunately, the safety was coming down, and it looks like he must have banged his knee somewhere there. Not a good look. But a first down nonetheless for Sacramento. See if they keep pounding the rock here. Oh, an end around, and that is snipped out early. Big tackle there. Big stop on the end around. So now they're looking at 2nd and 12. And that was the rookie Joel Kennard out of Clemson, the 1st-round pick, who sniffed out that end around and made the stop. Getting a little bit of it back there on second. They're looking at 3rd and 5. They've had a couple third down conversions on this drive. Ethan Hill out of the shotgun, empty set, intercepted! Sticky, picky, Allen Hilton drives a dagger through the heart of the Sacramento faithful. Unbelievable. Put that one on the souvenir shelf as Kenny Landry's going to jog back onto the field thanks to Hilton making a great pick in the end zone. And Hayward has certainly been the featured weapon so far tonight for the Crusaders, the only touchdown of the game. And he's there with Landry in the shotgun. Going out on a little bit of a route, but no! Brought down, big sack by Jones. Getting a little bit of payback. Body bagged. We knew the morgue officer would have to be on standby. He has got cases to fill and bodies to chill. Big loss on first down of 10 yards. They're looking at 2nd and 20 from the 10-yard line. Single back. Going to hand it to Hayward and hope to get something. Hayward makes the first man miss in the backfield, but ultimately can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Landry clearly still having some confusion with the playbook as he's looking off to the sideline and gesturing some confusion. Landry's got time, dumps it off, but it hits the dirt. What a bad drive after the turnover. Not what they wanted there. Poole was the option, but he was still way short of the sticks. Really all they did was defend the Peaks from scoring, but not able to make anything else out of it, and ultimately Sacramento's going to have very good field position, so things could have turned out much worse for Ethan Hill. Let's see if he can actually do something with it this time without giving it away. Don't mind your boy Skip. Think he needs a little dubby as these pretzels are making me thirsty. Ethan Hill throwing it over the middle, just short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Staying in the single back. And he finally gets a conversion on a short run. Glover has been struggling all night against this run defense, finally making a play. Completion, 2nd and 3 after a big pickup of 7. Nice throw, nice catch. Keep it moving. 5:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. Hill under shotgun, 2nd and 3. Dumps it off quick to Freeman, who's got the first down and then some. And he knows it. Remember, that's W.GG promo code RIVALS when you check out. And he's stopped after a very short gain there. Really up and down night on the ground for Sacramento. Not able to do really nearly as much as they wanted. James Glover gonna struggle when you also get the false start call. Backing them up, 2nd and 13, not at all what they need. Tried another handoff there, just getting a couple. And the Peaks have had a really tough season. They lost the first 2 games, won a game, lost 3 more. Had some surprise wins against Honolulu and Kansas City, and then lost again last week. So it's just been a stop and start season. Every time they think they're getting some momentum, it just doesn't turn out exactly how they want it to. Unlike that play which netted them a first down, which they definitely needed against this Crusaders team, which has looked much better than their record tonight. Hill is driving them deep into the red zone here. Second and 1, Hill fires it, and it's complete to Freeman! Touchdown, Sacramento! Tyreek Freeman just standing still like a statue in the end zone. Just stops on a dime and is wide open. Little bit of miscommunication between the linebacker and the safety there on who's got Tyreek Freeman. Nobody's got him, which means he's got the touchdown. And just like that, this is a tie game all over again. It's a 10-play drive. Most importantly, getting the touchdown. And Hill netting a touchdown after an interception. So he's essentially wiped that mistake clean as they kick it back to the Crusaders, returning it out to about the 25-yard line. Let's see what Landry and company can do. Again, it's been a tough year for the Crusaders, who lost the first 6 of their games and then have basically been win one, lose one since then. So certainly hoping they can finally get their second consecutive win on the season for the first time. And Landry, meanwhile, himself has had not enough of an opportunity to actually know this system in and out. He was with the Blizzard through week 7, came in for some spot duty when Truman got hurt in week 9, actually got them the win in that game, but then has been back on the bench and getting the start again tonight. So a very tough season for both teams, as you can see, which is why we are looking at a gridlock, 10-10 near the end of the third quarter. Landry on 1st and 10 hits the fullback in the flat, getting a gain of 5. And those are the types of plays you can expect to see from a 3-and-8 team. A pass to the fullback. And it's not a trick. Landry running for his life, throws. Oh, they're going to call it an incompletion. Could have easily been called a fumble, as he took a shot from 2 defenders bearing down as he threw back across his body. Not a great look. Landry maybe trying a little too hard to make some plays. This time he's trying to scramble, but took off just a hair too late. And Sacramento, uncharacteristically, now has their 3rd sack on the night, and that is the 2nd sack on the night for Rashard Jones. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Throw your 4s up. Tell me who you got. Ronnie Taylor, call it. Who is going to win this game? If you're right, we'll get the commission to throw you a boost. You're watching Smash Mouth Saturday night here with Football Rivals, as the Crusaders are going to punt it away. And here comes Hill, having a decent night, but that has been the story for his season. Decent. He's now added a touchdown and an interception to the 11-4 ratio he had to come in with. Meanwhile, Frazier getting a big boost off the right side. Or Glover, I don't know why I said Frazier. Glover, James Glover. Ronnie Taylor is calling the peak, going to get the win here. Well, that might have been a good decision. They just got a big gain on the ground from James Glover, perhaps the biggest of the night through the ground game. Now a completion off to the right side. Who is it? Cheeks again. Shotgun set, bunch to the left, doubles to the right, empty formation for Hill, who's got time. Is he going to scramble? He does. He shakes no one and slides. He shook no one out of their boots, and he slid for the first down. Like a DH sliding into first base. Hill picking up a big completion as they're going to stay in that empty set. Hill launches it deep. Oh, almost tipped. Well, it was tipped, almost caught, almost intercepted. A lot going on there. I believe that was Bryson Nash, the safety, the former Buffalo Brawler, breaking that one up. Hill, 2nd and 10, throws it deep again, this time overthrown. Getting maybe a little too confident, a little too much moxie. 3rd and 10 in this game, that's basically a Hail Mary and a whispered prayer. Hill sending the receiver out in motion. Standing at the 50, throws the check down, and that is not going to do it. 1-yard pickup. Tough way to end the drive. Justice making a big tackle on Warwick. And they're just out of range, which is going to translate to a punt out around the 16. It's anybody's game as Kenny Landry trying to find some momentum. It's been tough so far, tough sledding for the Crusaders tonight. But they toss it to Hayward, who doesn't necessarily have the speed to get around the edge, and Goings gets the got. You can see the Crusaders just struggling on offense in general. That has been their season. It's been feast or famine, and unfortunately, too often it's been famine. Hayward getting a couple there, but it is now going to be 3rd and 5 as Brown, the superstar, actually X-Factor safety, coming down and making a big-time stop.
Defense.
No, Rashard Jones, after having a great game so far, is going to be called with the neutral zone infraction, taking that from a 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and inches. Landry hands it off to Hayward, who's got room off the left side of the center, and gets a big first down. Columbus needed that one. First and 10, Landry dropping back, tries to find a man, he does. 2nd and 8, only getting 2 on the completion. Time is starting to be a factor. 8:45 as Landry gets the snap. 2nd and 8, moving around the pocket, dumping it down to the check down with Hayward, and it's incomplete. Dunlap breaking that one up. This is a dogfight. Most weeks for Smash Mouth Saturday night, we have an explosion of scoring. This week, it is a defensive battle. Landry checking it down again, but Hayward not able to make the play there, and it looks like the Peaks dealing with a bit of an injury. Is that Cage? Not a good look. Nazir Cage, one of their best defensive players, taking the injury there. Either way, the Peaks are now going to be on offense as Ethan Hill has got to generate some offense.
At their own 24-yard line.
Now, if you haven't heard or you're just tuning in, Football Rivals Pro now has an official sponsor, W Energy Drink. And if you want to get a sugar-free, additive-free, feel-good boost, go to W.GG, use the promo code RIVALS at checkout. 2nd and 3, Hill dropping back, hits the check down for the first down, but there's gonna be a flag. Let's see what it is. Holding on Northcutt. That is gonna bring them way back. Not what they needed on this one. Out of the shotgun, he's bringing Cheeks in motion right to left. Hill now scrambling out of the pocket, and he is going to get brought down at the 19 by Juwan Black, the middle linebacker, hunting the quarterback, stalking him, and ultimately bringing him down. 3rd and 14. We're going to go back to full screen here. Empty set. Hill throwing it past the sticks, and he's got it complete. Huge catch there. Is that Ventura making a catch? Boy, talk about a clutch catch. Ventura had that big drop earlier. He is draped by the defender there. Draped with a D, draped by the defender. Like a wet blanket covering him. But he still manages to get the catch. Hill staying in the empty. Dumps it over the middle. I think that's Warwick. Getting 9 there on first down. Clock is definitely counting into this finale here. 5:45 by the time he snaps it. Making an adjustment. Hill watching the clock run out. Oh, bounces off the line. Incomplete. Wasted down. Hill saying that's on me. Coach saying, yeah, I know. Empty set again, 3rd and 1. He's certainly not handing it off. He's got a bunch formation to the right, but throws it out left for the first down. Big play when you can find the halfback lined up out wide. James Glover showing he is a do-it-all back for the Peaks. They are now inside the 50. Handing it off. Glover trying to fight his way, and now there's going to be another injury here. Looks like Richard. It's Duron Richards, right guard, veteran, probably their best offensive lineman, so you hope he's going to come back. This is a game of attrition here. 3rd and 5 for the Peaks. Let's see what they can do here. Shotgun set. Glover back there with Hill. Glover out on a route. Hill throws it to Warwick, who gets the first down and then some inside the 30 down to the 28. Warwick coming on late in this game. Quiet early, but Taquan Warwick, the young receiver, 2nd year out of Tennessee. He was an early first-round pick in the 0 year, actually the 3rd overall pick, but he still finds himself as the 3rd receiver on this team behind Freeman and Ventura. Hill throws, dumps it off. That looks like, was that Cheeks who was in motion? Hill in the empty set, 2nd and 5. Little bit of motion trickeration, quick bubble screen, gets it out of his hands. Looks like it was to Glover, lined up out at receiver again, but they could not make that work. The clock is ticking. Here in this tie game, it's a nail biter. As Hill dumps it off on the screen, and they're going to get the first down and then some. Big time play, big time energy out of the Peaks right when they need it. And if you need some energy, make sure to get Dubby. We're at the 2-minute warning. This game is all tied up, but the Peaks are within range of the Summit and winning this one as they line up in a power formation. Lots of power and beef off to the left side. Bringing the tight end around to the right, up the gut. Yeah, they're going to let the clock run here, see if Columbus uses any timeouts. Oh, we've got a flag. Worst possible time for a false start. I'm sorry, not an offsides. 2nd and 10. Staying under center, runs it to Glover again. Not getting much. Now Columbus takes a timeout. Handing it off again to Glover on 3rd and 9. Oh, and they've got an injury. Foster. That's the center, Chris Foster. A young, talented player. And now it looks like they're going to have to settle for the field goal down here deep in the red zone. But just like that, Chris Overton gets the field goal and puts the Peaks up by 3. Is that going to be enough, or will Kenny Landry be able to mark the Crusaders down with 2 timeouts left? Let's see what happens after the return out to the 27. Kenny Landry under center, maybe a little bit of a surprise here with only 2 timeouts, that they would line up in a bit of a power formation. Clearly they're going to pass it anyways. Got the completion. They are going to have to put some pedal to the metal, and they're going to take a timeout. Yikes. Not a great use of clock. Got to wonder how much is going to change for Columbus, not only for the rest of this game, but for the rest of this season and into the future. Landry trying to escape the pocket. He's clear. He's free up past the 50 and slides down at the 50. They're going to keep moving. They only had that 1 timeout. Big conversion for Landry and a completion, and now they take the timeout. Lesson learned from earlier when they took the timeout way too late. Now they got 42 seconds, empty set, but no timeouts. Landry looking, running out of the pocket, throws, no! They're going to say it's a sack, and now the time is really ticking away. Throws it deep. Oh, incomplete. Just overthrown. Only 7 seconds left here in this game. Shotgun set. They're within a long field goal attempt, but I think they want a few more. Landry chucks it deep, and this is going to be the end of the game. Incomplete! That is going to do it. Ronnie Taylor called it at the start of the 4th quarter. The Peaks managed to win this one in a stunner. It wasn't something you'd hang in the loose, more like something you'd put on the refrigerator. But the Peaks get it done, moving to 5-7 and keeping their playoff dreams on life support. Meanwhile, the Crusaders falling to 3-9, and Kenny Landry probably going to need an ice bath and a priest after this one. Thanks so much for watching Smash Mouth Saturday night. This is Skip Lloyd signing off from the castle where the banners are faded and the dreams are fading faster. But buckle in for next week as the Toronto Blizzard are storming south to face off against the San Antonio Law in what promises to be a showdown of Arctic ice versus Texas grit. That's next week, same time, same mayhem, right here on Smash Mouth Saturday night.